Yo everyone, this is Scary Potatoes here and I am a freshman at the NUS Business School. So today I'll be talking about the modules I took for the first semester and how I feel about them. Hopefully this helps you to decide whether NUS Business School is right for you. In your first year of business school, you'll be split into two baskets. The first basket will be taken by people from JC and the second basket will be taken by people who are from Poly or are accountancy students. I took the JC basket of modules. Within the basket, there is DAO 1704, BSP 1703, ES 2002, GEA 1000, and MNO 1706. However, since I'm a double major student majoring in communications in new media 2, my MNO 1706 has been replaced by a module from my second major, which is NM1101E. Also, we are required to take 3 compulsory modules no matter what course you are in. Those are BPM 1701, BPM 1702, and BPM 1705. So here's a quick rundown on the different modules I took this semester and how I feel about it. BPM 1701 is just a rehash of JC Math. With like differentiation, integration, all sorts of stuff. It is pretty doable and you can redo it anytime you want, and they practically give the answers to you, so it's quite easy. As for BPM 1702, it's about Excel and PowerPoint techniques. To be honest, out of all the 3 compulsory modules that you're required to do, this is the most painful one, because the PowerPoint and Excel is so difficult and it is very strict in terms of the marking rubrics that they use for the software. For example, I pressed a random button off the Excel sheet and it marked me wrong for it. The passing criteria for both the PowerPoint and the Excel exam is like 95% or 90% if I remember correctly. It's damn high and it takes a lot of time. It's just super bothersome. In the end, it's honestly quite useful because some of the modules that I take this sem or that sem, it capitalizes on like Excel techniques, so it is quite helpful in that regard. BPM 1705 is quite straightforward and simple to understand because it's just all about understanding how business works as stated in the title. So like what they teach you is something like how do you run a company, what do you need to run a company, and what does it even do. It's pretty fast and all's Gucci. BSP 1703 is basically just JCH2 economics sprinkled with a little bit of game theory. It is honestly quite doable as long as you understand the concepts well. For this module, there are individual assignments, 1 group project, and a final exam that you have to take at the end of the semester. The individual assignment, it is honestly quite simple, but I didn't really understand the concept, so I found it difficult for me. Also, for the group project, it is done every other week in tutorials. It gets harder as the weeks go by, so you just got to pray that you get the easier project and present first. And as for the final exam, it is basically just all MCQs, but it is quite time restrictive and you have to manage your time well in order to complete it. The exam honestly is pretty doable for my year, but I'm not sure about the future years. For DAO 1704, we're dealing with probability, statistics, Excel sheets, optimization, decision trees, simulations, and all that kind of stuff. It's the most workload intensive module that I've taken that semester, as they have weekly quizzes, group assignments, and also a group project bundled in as well. Furthermore, there is a final exam that you have to take that's 40 to 50% of the total module grade if I remember correctly. Overall, this module made me rethink my life choices in uni. The only thing good about this module is that the bell curve works in your favor. Because the content is so inherently difficult, many people struggle with it. If you put a lot of effort into this module, I'm pretty sure you get a grade that you are satisfied with pretty easily, I'd say. As for ES 2002, it is basically just JC Project Work 2.0 along with negotiations and stuff. Also, there's a graded reflection at the end of the module that works something like an interview where the module professor will just interview you face to face and make you reflect on your past experiences within the module and in the semester and how you have grown as an effective speaker and communicator. Overall, I feel that this module is very subjective. You just gotta pray to RNGesus that you have good teammates that can carry you through the group portion aspect while working hard on your own for the individual aspects such as negotiation and the reflection. GEA 1000 is basically just like Dow 1704's baby brother with a steep bell curve. You essentially learn the same things just with a little bit of difference, but the content is way easier and the workload is way less, with only one group project, one midterm and one final exam. To give you a perspective on how steep the bell curve is, scoring 5.25 on the midterms will net you below the 25th percentile. The average for midterms is around 7.25 for my year. Yeah, it's fucked up. NM1101E is a very interesting module. You learn about communication and the basics of it, as well as some theories that govern like how we communicate with each other and how the media presents itself to us. To be honest, most of what is taught in this module is pretty common sense. It can kind of work both ways in your favor or against you, as it is very easy to understand. However, to write it out in the exams is a different story. Most of the time, you'll be wondering whether you're actually applying the theories or just speaking out of common sense during the exam. For example, there is one question in one of the exam that asks you about how effective the ad is and what are the factors that goes into it. You can answer it in common sense just as well as using the theories that was presented by the lecturers during the lecture. So you gotta be careful on how you actually answer the questions and make sure you actually relate like what you learned into what you write in the exams. One interesting thing to note is that the professor is very interactive with the Zoom chat, and sometimes it feels like the lecture is a Twitch live stream where the chat is going by really fast. There is also a group project in the module that requires you to come up with a PR plan for a company that you have selected online. I would not recommend you to take this module if you are bad at writing essays. The first semester has been pretty good. I've made some friends through the modules and through the freshman orientation camps. The workload was also pretty manageable, but it ramps up during the later half of the semester, where all the group projects are due and people are rushing to study for the exams. Anyways, that's all for today. Do like, share and subscribe for more content like this that I'll be putting out in the future. And if you guys want me to talk about my experience for my freshman orientation programs, feel free to comment down below what you guys want to see in future videos, and have a nice day. Bye bye.